Once we get to a place where we're really confident with our major scales and what keys have what flats or sharps, the next step is to actually start working on our minor scales. So you may notice the major scale sounds happy. The minor scale is kind of the opposite of this. It sounds sad. And the way we figure out those minor scales is we can start on any major scale. So I'm going to start off with C major, and we're going to go to the sixth note in the scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have C major, and then we now have A minor. We can use the exact notes from C major, but rather than play C to C, we actually play from A to A, and we will have the relative minor from C major, aka A minor, like so. Notice the sound's a little different, but it also sounds connected in its own way. Along with the scales, we have minor arpeggios, just as we have major arpeggios. So we take the first, the third, and the fifth from that scale to create the A minor arpeggio. No different than when we took C major and we did the first, third, fifth to make the C major arpeggio. Now we're going A to A. And then from there, we have options. You could either start with the major and go to the relative minor each time. So for instance, if we did C major, let's say we're going through our flat keys, we would go to F major, which had one flat, B flat, but now we would start on the sixth note of the scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, D minor. And then in that case, D minor would have one flat, just like F major. And then the arpeggio. But one thing I want you to notice is if we go back, we were at C major, and we went from C major to the relative minor, which was A minor. And we use that same rule for our flat keys, just like we did with our major flat keys. We counted to 4 from scale to scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess what? You're on D minor. You have one flat still. That flat is still B flat. Then if we count to 4 from D, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're on G minor, which will have now 2 flats, and it is related to B flat major, which you should already know. So G minor sounds like this. Going on through those, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're at C minor. It's relative to E flat major, 3 flats. Then we could keep going, C minor, count to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. One thing I want you to notice is every time we do this, when we're going from major to the relative minor, that was the 6th note in the scale. If we're thinking about the minor scale and what major note it's related to, it's actually the 3rd note in that scale. So F, G, A flat. So F minor is related to A flat major. 4 flats. Except I started on A flat. Let's try that again in F. Okay, so on and so forth, and just like with your major scales, you will build up to a total of 7 flats. Whenever we get through our flat keys, the next step is to go on to your sharp minor scales. And kind of like with major scales, where we counted 5 to get from key to key, we can do the same thing with our minor scales. So we'll go back, we're in C major. Our 6th note to get to the relative minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is still A minor. We've already done A minor, but this time instead of counting to 4 to get to our flat keys, we're going to count to 5 to get to our sharp keys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have E minor. We now have 1 sharp, F sharp. So you'll notice a lot of these rules, they carry over. They end up being the same thing that we did with our major keys. As long as you know how to build those arpeggios, and as long as you know your orders of sharps and flats and what to count to, you're going to be A-okay. Happy practicing.